Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Commentary Show. This is doing well, having a wonderful day on this. Whoa! 26th March 2025. We're about to watch the sunset. We have a lot of videos to do, so you're going to hear me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. However, hopefully, this will be more entertaining than if I'm not talking. Because if it's more entertaining than if I'm not talking, then we have a problem. So enjoy. The fun thing is, I received a notification that said, hey, the snow should stop in a couple hours. Where's the snow, bro? Where is the snow, bro? I'll make a boxes out of that. Okay. Little beanie. Okay, let's go. Let's get sober up. Don't blink, yes you're blink, with possibly the douchiest thumbnail I ever done. You guys prefer that, so hello, I'm gonna do it more. What's been going on this 26th March 2025? Today we're talking about the general workout of the day, the calorie consumption. So we are gonna be having a whole package of Prime Bite teriyaki pepperoni. So it is 110 calories per 30 gram. There's 125, so it's 440. We had a bag of popcorn, which is gonna be 200, and we had this muffin, which is 280. Right now, we're gonna be having a pie. Now, the problem with the pie is I don't know how much calorie that is, but this is pretty much it. So, right now we did our cardio. Today we opted for a more of an intense. So, for example, yesterday we did an hour and a half, which was great. But today, an hour. However, right, instead of walking, we're jogging. So, I don't know what's gonna be better. I don't know if one of them is better. Probably. I honestly think jogging is good, but I think the longer form is better because you're having maintained exercise for a longer period of time. Teriyaki prime jerky, amazing. Now we're gonna be working out. We got about 6 videos to do. So we'll get right into it. Love you guys. Peace. Ramadan. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. Guys are doing well, so having a wonderful day. On this 26th March 2025, this is your boy Ink Vendetta. This video is gonna be very special because like the last, well, for the next couple of months you're gonna hear me eat, work out during the videos. We're going through a weight loss kind of journey, weight loss kind of arc, and I want everything documented if you don't mind. So today on the menu we have uno pepperoni, because this is the last one off the box. Prime Bite teriyaki, delicious. Muffin. I know what you're saying, Ink, this is all cool, but why did you talk about Nicocado avocado? I think it's actually pretty funny. We talk about weight loss and make a video about Nicocado avocado. Now, it's funny because last month was heavily focused on so that I had to recap. So we're talking about Shameless, we're talking about One Piece, we're talking about Vikings, right? So all of those shows, all those great shows, were a bit much. You guys remember last year we had a depression, we had a burnout. A part of it was because we weren't even like chilling. Most of the show that we were doing, most of the show that we were watching, I had a video in the background. And so that's that. Now we have to review 3 shows in a one shot, non-stop. So now we're taking a break, and we're consuming a lot more of YouTube. Now, here's why. I'm sorry about the noise. These are the culprits. Here's why this is super, super, super special. When you look at it, right, over the last 4 years, because we've been making content for 4 years. The first year I was working, second year I went crazy. I went crazy with I went crazy with my with the content creation. I wasn't really watching YouTube, and now but with a bit more relaxed video schedule. I watch more YouTube. For example, today we spent an hour and a half on the treadmill watching YouTube. So the nicest thing is we get to watch amazing content by different amazing content creator, right? But it's always a question of finding the next video. So the problem, which is not a third world problem, it's not a handing the world hunger problem. It isn't much of a problem at all. However, it is bothering me, is the fact that most of the videos I'm really watching are short-term content. By the way, I prefer long-term content because you get to do a beginning, a end, and a middle, or you really get involved with the story. I've been really a problem. So I don't know if it's out of nostalgia, but I've been gravitating back and forth between old content creators that I love and new that I do love. So the old one were AGP, rest in peace. However, my issue with AGP, and again, nothing against the man, but there's so much drama, there's so much stuff that is, we're not sure if it's true, the whole universe on AGP. And I don't know if it's true, so there is a legacy there. There's a fan here, but there's something I cannot forgive, you know? Or, otherwise, another content creator that we love watching, which is McJuggernuggets. McJuggernuggets, what is amazing is, you're like, okay, well, he made such an amazing series at such a young age, and then he did it again with Devil Inside. And it's 4 years of his life, 2 upload per day. Sorry, we're also trying to get the best possible view. Because the other view on the side is nice. I'm afraid that if I put it there, I'm gonna have the wall, so that's not good. Let's get higher. Give me a sec. I have to check something. There you go. I need to watch if we were filming the wall or not. So then, the problem with McJuggernuggets is, even though that's amazing, it's about 200 hours times 2. No, divided by 2, that's 100 hours. So I watched that in a week and a half, you know? And then it's the same thing over and over again. So looking for content, like for example with Kid Boga, who is by far my favorite content creator, by far the person I owe the most to. I have a lot of content creating friends and I love them, and I'm super lucky because I'm well surrounded, but nobody did what Kid Boga did, which is influence me to start making content. Give me the passion to find another venue than just face to face. Ultimately speaking, we ended up making face to face, but at the same time, no. And the problem with Kid Boga is, once again, Kid Boga is, I fucking love that guy, and the content is so enjoyable. But the problem with Kid Boga is there's highlights. There's highlights of 30 minutes and 40 minutes. You have this, or you have longer form of content, which is 9 hours. So the 9 hours when I was working, it was perfect. The 9 hours when I'm working out, it's perfect. The 9 hours when I'm live, it's perfect. Now the problem with that is I am not working. I'm working possibly 4 hours here, there. I'm on call at the temp agency, which sucks. Or I'm working out, and that's an hour and a half. So I'm seeing it very fragmented, and it's really hard to see. So I have to choose multiple videos of 20 minutes, which are great, but I know how talented the guy is, so I'm missing out. So why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about this? Is because in my mind, I think the most complete content creator. Now, ultimately speaking, I do not know every single content creator. I will really getting into GMM, and GMM, in my eyes, is possibly the OG YouTuber that I respect the most. They're possibly the people that have the most experience, the most know how. And I'm just in love with GMM. GMM is such a clever recipe. You got two characters, you got two people that are completely different. Um, they're completely different, and ultimately speaking, it's nice because you got the duality, you got the conflict between those two people. They're so different, but at the end, they're the same guy because they're working for the same company and they're best friends. So they agree all the time, right? But the problem with GMM is it does feel at time very corporate. So, for example, they'll do. There's time where, and I love GMM, but there's time where I feel like they'll sit down and they have the entire video planned out. They're not editing, they're not filming. So it is very familial when it comes to the employees, but it's still corporate feeling. And um, I think as a content creator, I'm gonna be selfish and say I am looking for when I make content. I'm looking for content that I'm able to relate to, reproduce. Not because I want to reproduce it, but because I'm like, oh yeah, it's a cool way of doing things. Oh yeah, this is a good idea, right? But that being said, the reason why we're going back to the Cagado avocado every single time is Nico Cado Avocado is possibly, in my mind, one of the best content creator out there, and has been for so freaking long now. There is a specific, very specific reason, which can be very vain, very narcissistic. I do believe that Nico Cado has some sort of, I don't know. I am thinking ADHD because the thing with Nico Cado Avocado is he did 5 years, well, more than 5 years, but I count 5 years because I only count the mukbang stuff. So we're talking about 5 years. We're talking about 1 to 2 videos a day. So we're talking about a minimum of 1,500 times 5. That's 7,500. Talking about a minimum of 8,000 videos that are anywhere between 3 minutes to an hour and a half to 2 hours to 3 hours for some videos. And what is kind of cool is, for example, right? So somebody like Kid Boga, which I fucking love, narratively speaking, has had a very, so Kid Boga, for example, he does another hour's video, right? Now you're not really gonna remember. You're not really gonna remember the video in itself, but you're gonna remember the plot. You're gonna remember the problem and the solution, right? This is your narrative blackboard. So my interest with Nico Avocado is, and again, I have a tendency to put very weird title or very precise title, and he will just write down mukbang X, or write down McDonald mukbang. Now the funny thing with Nicocado is if you type Nicocado avocado and you write down mukbang McDonald mukbang, there's about 8 of those. You're like, what the fuck? The dude has 8 of the same name videos, and they're completely different subject. But also the fact that Nicocado, to me, is such a clever thing. Gayodo was also not super corporated. He had a PR team. He had people behind him, but it still felt very homey, very homemade video. Just a dude in front of the camera talking, like we're doing now, right? There's also the feeling that I have a very huge admiration for somebody who is a master of the craft. I'm gonna be looking, and I know I'm gonna go far with the comparison, but I'm gonna be looking at a show like Breaking Bad. I'm gonna be looking at a show like The Sopranos, who is a very small show. We're seeing shows that are lasting and lasting and lasting and lasting and lasting. and lasting until you're like, well, it's not like it used to be. It was better before. And we're seeing Mikado like after 5 years, we're like, I'm done. So we're seeing the beginning of an end, and we're seeing the transformation physically, emotionally, mentally of the guy. We're seeing a very optimistic guy, and at the end, a very pessimistic guy. We're seeing a very positive person becoming slowly and slowly corrupted by public opinion, corrupted by the haters, corrupted by people messing with him, I guess. And it's a telltale of a lot of people. And it's also nice because it's a telltale of a whole career in 5 years. You know, I was talking about GMM, and I love GMM, but they've been making videos since 2006, which was the birth year of YouTube. And although I applaud that, it's really hard to say, okay, well, GMM, there's a beginning and an end. You see, I was talking about arcs yesterday, and now we're doing a weight loss arc, and it was a beautiful thing because I can kind of picture like with Mikado arcs. So for example, the pre vegan, the after vegan, the pre Stephanie So, the after Stephanie So, the hate bait content to the final where he lost all the weight, right? And it's a beautiful thing because Mikado, and I don't know if it's damaging to the legacy, not that he lost all the weight, but it's also a picture perfect of was this all a dream? Even when you look at my favorite movie ever, Fight Club. Fight Club is about a dude who thinks that his best friend is crazy, but ends up being the crazy best friend, the one and the same person. So in Mikado, you're like, holy shit, what is really real? What is not real? Right? Question everything, and you look at reality TV, and you're like, what is real? And it's actually a picture perfect of society, right? Mikado also is very theatrical. One, two is very smart also. Not in the sense of I know what the exact number of pi and I know every single number of pi, but more so in a way of I know how society will react and I'll use that to my advantage. So I thought I was super good. There's a bit of manipulation, but also is he make himself a villain. So that was a really nice thing. I'm getting more interest in WWE. And a lot of people will tell you, oh, WWE is fake. Fine, it is fake, but some of those scripts are amazing. Those scripts are amazing. We're seeing one of the best show right now, the most popular show right now is Lolcon Live. And it's just facing backlash for being scripted, right? So when Mikado, it was like one person, and I think that's also what I loved about Make Jock Nuggets. The fact that he was alone and he was a kid and he was able to make videos. And of course he was editing, but he was still a kid, you know? So yeah, so Mikado, and it's also the fact that I can laugh with that guy, I can take him up with that guy. There's also the fact that I'm gonna be watching an hour video. I'm gonna be watching it 2 or 3 times and I'm still not sure what he's talking about. And I think this is something I'm highly relating to. I think with the my content in itself, I think there's a lot of time where I'm starting with a subject, but I'm ending on another subject and like, what the fuck did I just watch? But then these are amazing videos to watch. There's an amazing video to see because there's a fine line between incomprehensible and thoughtful. And the very thin line is did I understand the video or was he just talking gibberish? And I believe that a lot of videos I talk gibberish, but I also believe that there's time where what I'm talking about makes sense, but you just have to think about outside the box. So really relate to that, and also the reason as to that is because see, there's so many content creators. So the market is oversaturated. The market is really hard to get into. Everybody and their brother wants to be a content creator, and it's just a scene where there's almost more content creator than content watcher. Also, little side note, but you think about the places like OnlyFans. The attraction of OnlyFans was, yeah, well, that's your girl next door went up being a porn star, right? But then it's like, okay, well, the girl next door, but my neighbor on the top floor, my neighbor down below, there's 10 people in my building who do OnlyFans, and it's just an oversaturated market. So there is that. Also, there is a very fascinating effect that is the second generation. So you look at people like GMM, you look at people like at Milton, look at people like PewDiePie, look at people like OG YouTuber, and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Now you look at a person like Kai Cenat, who watched YouTube growing up and actually has an idea of how it works. And you're like, okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna be focusing on learning from them and almost going to a school, online school of social media, and I'm gonna become successful. Now, was the knowledge enough? No. The guy is charismatic, the guy is funny, the guy has really good connection. But again, when I'm watching Kai Cenat, and I love Kai Cenat, it does feel like sometimes there's a whole business behind it. And it takes away from the person itself, right? And I think that's problematic. I think that's problematic. Anyway, love you guys. Take it easy. Peace. Don't blink. It's your boy. Welcome to another show. If you're doing well, having a wonderful day. Seeing that I don't have enough storage, so I'm going to stop right here. But we do have a lot of storage. So you know why we have a lot of storage? You know why we have a lot of storage? Because we're going to be deleting one of the video. And it's a 24 gig video. So we're good. Come on, it's gonna be a problem with batteries more than anything else. And I'm taking lesson on not to beg for sex. Don't blink. Yes, you're going. Welcome to the show. If you're doing well, so having a wonderful day. Today we are doing day 3 of weight loss. You're gonna see me with lifting weights, which has nothing to do with the video. So I just wanted to do a little disclaimer. Again, we are the 26th March 2025. Welcome. You guys are having a wonderful day. Let's get right into it. So the video today is what I've learned in 4 years of content. And this is similar to the video that I've watched recently, which was the top. And the beauty of the top. No, this is not a sexual video, sadly, but it's something that it's a learning curve, if you will. And it's a learning curve in this sense of, okay, well, I've been doing this for a while, and I've been learning shortcuts, and I've been learning things. So, what has 4 years of content creation meant to me? What have I learned? So, I am extremely grateful because I've learned so much thanks to content creation. So one of the things that I learned was I'm actually more dependable than I thought. Then it's a journey because I came in and I was expecting to be successful, but I didn't even know what it means to be successful. See, it's kind of crazy thing because you're pushing the first year. So this is the worst way to start a video. This is the worst way to picture stuff that it makes sense. Trust me. So you start making content, right? And the first thing that you learn is that you like it. And the second thing that you learn is like, okay, well, I like it, I want to do it. So I want to do it more and more and more and more. It's like a hobby. And then there's a thought that creeps in your mind. And that thought is a very simple thought. What if I could take this hobby and do it all the time? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be nice? Right? This is exactly what happened with content creation as a whole. So I'm actually more dependent. So when I came in, my first thought was it was gonna be me against other people. So once again, I'm making content, they're making content, we're playing the same game. People want to watch this game, but I have to choose who they're gonna watch, right? And it actually brings up a sort of competitiveness of the field. But then the craziest thing isn't the competitiveness of the field, is the actual whole genre. So for example, right, there's this person, we're going to call him Jane Doe. Okay? I'm going to call her, let's make it a woman. Why not? A woman can watch video games also, right? And she is looking for video games. So she's browsing and she's looking for new video games, and then she finds an indie game. For example, we'll say Hollow Knight, we'll say Dead Cell, we'll say Disco Elysium, we'll say Five Nights at Freddy, because Five Nights at Freddy, believe it or not, is an indie game. I know it's hard to believe, but it is. And it's about like, holy shit, there's so many of us doing something, right? Then you think about your content, and you think about how to improve your content, right? And we're gonna get into the end. At the very end, I'm gonna tell you guys the most important lesson that I've learned. So you try to find a way, and this is where the content creation really takes a path for the more artsy style of content. So the more artsy style of content is actually quite nice because you're having a person saying, hey, I'm playing this game, they're playing this game, or hey, I want some viewer and I need to improve. Now, ultimately speaking, we're all playing the same game, we're all doing the same thing, but it's how we do it that matters. It's how you sell that matters actually. So you start to understand that the person is more important than what you're doing. And it took me so long to understand that. The person is more important than the content being put out. I can put out my window. I can put out my window. I'm gonna tell you a fun fact. This is a bonus for people that are watching this. How I got the ID for the putting my phone in the window and just watching the sun and the cloud. I don't know how I thought about it. It was last winter. I was spending Christmas alone, right? And I was watching a fireplace. I was like, holy shit. And I look at the number of views for the fireplace. And I'm like, holy shit. That's not half bad, right? So what I started to do was to notice that, okay, well, guess what? There's this many people that are watching a fireplace. And I started looking at other landscapes. So we're trying to look at water because I'm an Aquarius. I'm also in a coastal town, so I started looking at the water. There was a lot of views. So I'm like, holy shit. And then a urban city. Now, the beauty of it is you don't get ambient sounds. Right? So you don't hear people talking, you don't hear people screaming or swearing. It's actually really peaceful. And then you understand that people just want to look at nature. So this is where the idea came from, but this is some of the laziest content I've ever done, right? So this is also something that you sell. This is my home. I'm letting you guys in my home, right? And it's not always gonna work because you're gonna be like, hey, I don't care. I find it you don't care, but I think the beauty of it is, for example, you watch those shows, right? And you watch those shows and you're watching the behind the scenes. Hey, this is a set. Wow, is this really the accessory they use in the show? Like, yeah, it is. It is. I know it's hard to believe, but it is. So now I have to check. Okay, I have to check something. Quick. I have to check out how many stories.